Have you ever wondered why some people seem to grow and thrive, no matter what life throws their way? What if you could harness that same power, unlocking a mindset that fuels success and resilience? Welcome to Mindset Boost. Unlock your potential for growth, a journey into developing a mindset that allows you to break free from limiting beliefs, embrace challenges, and foster continuous improvement. This book is designed to guide you through a progressive, step-by-step approach to cultivating a growth mindset. Each chapter builds on the last, providing relatable examples, practical exercises, and simple explanations that make it easy to understand and apply. With a focus on positivity, resilience, and self-discipline, you'll discover the tools you need to stay focused, face obstacles confidently, and unlock your full potential. Get ready to transform your thinking, embrace your potential, and embark on a path of lifelong growth. Chapter 1. Awakening Awareness. Understanding your potential. What if you discovered that you already have within you everything you need to start creating positive changes? Most of us go through life without fully realizing the extent of our potential. We focus on day-to-day routines, unaware that a shift in our mindset could unlock abilities and strengths we haven't yet tapped into. The purpose of this first chapter is to introduce you to the idea of awareness, the foundation of all personal growth. Awareness isn't just about knowing your strengths and weaknesses. It's about understanding how your thoughts and beliefs shape your actions and ultimately your life. By developing a deeper awareness of yourself, you open the door to making powerful, conscious choices that lead you toward growth. To begin, let's talk about what it means to wake up to our potential. Think of awareness as a flashlight that reveals the corners of your mind, areas that you may not usually notice. When you shine that flashlight on your habits, thoughts, and reactions, you can start to see what's been holding you back and where you're truly capable of growth. For instance, consider someone who constantly tells themselves, "I'm just not a confident person." Each time they repeat the thought, they reinforce a belief that limits them, subconsciously avoiding opportunities to build confidence. By shining a light on this belief, they can start to question it. Is this true? How does this belief serve me? This questioning is an act of awareness, a small step in challenging a long-held assumption. Through awareness, we become empowered to change our inner dialogue, replacing it with thoughts that serve our growth rather than limit it. A powerful way to illustrate awareness in action is to think about habits. Picture someone who routinely scrolls through social media each night for hours, feeling unmotivated or drained afterward, but unaware of the impact this habit has on their mood. The habit happens automatically. It's a routine that feels normal. But what if they paused for a moment and observed this habit? They might notice patterns, such as feeling more fatigued, comparing themselves to others, or ending the night with less energy. This awareness allows them to consciously choose a different behavior, perhaps setting aside time for reading, a hobby, or restful sleep instead. Simply by becoming aware, they can replace a habit that drains their energy with one that builds it. Awareness gives us the ability to make choices that align with our well-being, rather than remaining stuck in automatic behaviors. Awareness also means recognizing the strengths we may take for granted. Many people are so used to focusing on areas they feel need improvement that they overlook the unique abilities they already have. Imagine an artist who doesn't see their creativity as anything special because it feels natural to them. Or consider a friend who's exceptionally good at listening and providing comfort, but doesn't see this as a skill. By becoming aware of these strengths, they can start to see how these qualities contribute to their life and the lives of those around them. When we truly see ourselves, we realize that our potential is far greater than we often assume. Building awareness requires that we pay attention to both our internal and external worlds. This might mean reflecting on our thoughts or taking a closer look at how we react to different situations. A person who tends to get nervous before speaking in front of others may find themselves anxious at an upcoming presentation. If they step back and ask, "What's making me feel this way?" they might uncover a fear of judgment or a worry about making mistakes. With awareness, they can remind themselves of times they successfully spoke up in other situations, reinforcing their capability. This small shift in perspective can make a world of difference in their confidence. Instead of avoiding situations that challenge us, awareness encourages us to confront them with a spirit of curiosity and self-compassion. Self-awareness isn't something that happens overnight, it's a continuous practice. We are always learning more about who we are and what drives us. Sometimes, this involves realizing that we have hidden beliefs that may not serve us, like the idea that success is only for a certain kind of person. Other times, awareness involves seeing a pattern in our lives that, once acknowledged, can be changed. The journey of personal growth is ongoing, and it always begins with the willingness to see ourselves clearly. As you conclude this chapter, I encourage you to start with one simple practice. Find a quiet moment to reflect on a habit, belief, or behavior that you'd like to understand more deeply. Ask yourself, why do I do this? Or what do I believe about myself in this situation? Listen to what surfaces, without judgment. This practice of reflection may feel small, but it's a step toward unlocking the greater potential that lies within you. Remember, awareness is a light that reveals both our challenges and our strengths. The more you understand yourself, the more power you have to make choices that align with the person you want to become. Each day is an opportunity to get to know yourself better, to learn what drives you and what holds you back. Embrace this process with patience and kindness, and know that the journey you're starting will bring you closer to the fullest version of yourself. So, what will you discover about yourself today? Take a moment to reflect and see where this new level of awareness might lead you. Chapter 2: Setting the Foundation, Building Positive Habits. Have you ever noticed how small actions repeated every day can add up to significant changes over time? This is the power of habits. In our journey toward personal growth, establishing positive habits is one of the most crucial steps. Habits are like the building blocks of our daily lives. They shape who we are and who we become. The key to unlocking your potential lies in creating habits that move you forward rather than hold you back. In this chapter, we'll explore what it takes to build positive habits that stick and how to use these habits as a foundation for lasting success. Positive habits don't require big, sweeping changes. In fact, the most effective habits often start small. Think of a habit as a seed that you plant today, which will grow over time as you continue to nurture it. Imagine someone who wants to develop the habit of daily exercise. They might start by doing just 5 minutes of stretching every morning, something so small that it's easy to accomplish, even on busy days. Over time, that 5 minutes can grow into 10, then 20, eventually evolving into a full workout routine. By starting small, they've created a habit that feels manageable and rewarding, which increases the likelihood of maintaining it long term. The process of building habits is often less about immediate results and more about consistency and patience. One of the reasons habits are so powerful is that they become automatic. Once a behavior becomes a habit, it requires less conscious effort and energy to complete. Think of brushing your teeth. Most of us don't need to remind ourselves to do it. It's a habit that's deeply ingrained in our daily routine. Imagine if we could apply that same automatic behavior to other areas, like reading for self-improvement, practicing gratitude, or staying active. When we create positive habits, we free up mental energy that can be used for other goals, making personal growth feel more natural and sustainable. It's also essential to recognize the role of our environment in building habits. Our surroundings influence us more than we might think. For example, if you want to read more often, consider leaving a book on your bedside table as a reminder. Or, if you're aiming to eat healthier, keep nutritious snacks within easy reach. One real-life example of using the environment to support habit building is the case of a person who wanted to drink more water each day. To make this habit easier, they kept a water bottle at their desk, in their car, and even on their kitchen counter. By making water accessible wherever they went, it became easier to remember to drink regularly, and over time, staying hydrated became second nature. Consistency is another cornerstone of successful habit building. It's common to feel excited about a new habit at first, but motivation can wane over time. This is where consistency becomes invaluable. Even on days when you may not feel like working on your habit, a small, consistent action can keep you moving forward. Imagine someone who wants to meditate daily. Some days, they may only manage a few minutes, but by keeping up with the practice, even in small amounts, they reinforce the habit and make it a part of their routine. Consistency helps turn new behaviors into habits, solidifying them as a natural part of daily life. It's also essential to be kind to yourself during the process of building new habits. Setbacks are a normal part of the journey, and they don't define your progress. Let's consider a person who is trying to cut down on their screen time before bed. They might slip up on certain days, scrolling through their phone out of habit. Instead of feeling discouraged, they recognize that one setback doesn't erase their overall progress. By practicing self-compassion and viewing each day as a fresh start, they stay focused on their goal without feeling weighed down by minor missteps. Remember, the journey to build positive habits is rarely a straight line. There will be ups and downs, but what matters is the commitment to keep going. Another key aspect of building positive habits is understanding the rewards that come with them. Positive reinforcement is a powerful motivator. When you see the benefits of a habit, whether it's feeling more energized, having a clearer mind, or achieving personal goals, it reinforces your desire to continue. Take, for instance, someone who starts journaling as a habit. At first, it might feel like an effort, but as they continue, they notice how writing their thoughts down helps them gain perspective and feel more grounded. This positive result encourages them to keep up with the habit, turning it into something they look forward to each day. As you close this chapter, think about one small habit you'd like to create that aligns with your goals. Choose something simple and achievable, a habit that can easily fit into your life. Perhaps you'd like to practice gratitude by writing down one thing you're thankful for each morning. Or maybe you want to build the habit of stretching for 5 minutes each day to feel more refreshed. Start small, stay consistent, and give yourself the time and space to let this habit grow. Remember, positive habits are a foundation for lasting change. They may start as tiny steps, but with time and commitment, they can lead to significant personal growth. So, what habit will you plant today to move closer to the person you want to become? Take a moment to reflect and take that first step forward. Chapter 3: Overcoming Doubts, Conquering Self-Limiting Beliefs. Have you ever felt like an invisible barrier was holding you back from reaching your full potential? These barriers are often not external, they're internal, taking the form of self-limiting beliefs. These are the thoughts that tell us we're not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable. They're the quiet voices that cast doubt on our abilities, making us hesitate or even give up before we start. This chapter is about identifying and overcoming those beliefs, allowing you to replace them with empowering, positive thoughts that support your growth. Self-limiting beliefs usually start as small seeds planted by past experiences or things we've heard from others. Perhaps someone was told as a child that they weren't good at math. Over time, this idea can take root, growing into a belief that they're inherently incapable of improving in that area. As adults, they might shy away from situations that require analytical thinking, assuming they'll struggle without even trying. This belief has limited their potential, not because it's true, but because they've come to believe it's true. By recognizing these patterns, we can begin to challenge and change them. A common self-limiting belief is the idea that success is only for a select few. Some people think that unless they have a natural talent, they can't excel in a particular field. But this belief ignores the power of practice, learning, and growth. Take, for example, the story of someone who felt they weren't creative enough to pursue art. They admired artists from a distance but hesitated to try themselves, thinking they lacked the innate skill. One day, they decided to take a small art class just for fun. Over time, with consistent practice and patience, they discovered they had a unique style and began creating pieces they were proud of. Their initial belief that they weren't creative was just a mental block. By challenging it, they unlocked a talent they hadn't realized they had. Our beliefs shape our actions. So when we carry self-doubt, it often influences the way we behave. Imagine someone who believes they're not confident enough to speak up in meetings. Because of this belief, they avoid contributing, even when they have valuable insights. Over time, they may feel disconnected or unappreciated, further reinforcing their lack of confidence. But by challenging this belief, perhaps by preparing one small point to share in each meeting, they might find that their contributions are well received, and they start to feel more confident. Sometimes, taking small steps can help us see that our beliefs aren't as unchangeable as we think. Self-limiting beliefs often come from comparing ourselves to others. We see someone excelling in a skill and assume we could never reach that level. But what we're often missing is the context, the practice, time, and effort that person has put in. Imagine a person who wants to start running but feels intimidated by experienced runners. They might tell themselves, "I'll never be able to run that fast." But they don't need to run at someone else's pace. They only need to start at their own. Perhaps they begin by jogging short distances, gradually increasing their endurance over time. By focusing on their progress rather than comparing themselves to others, they can build confidence and discover their unique potential. Overcoming self-limiting beliefs doesn't mean you'll never feel doubt again. Instead, it's about learning to recognize and question those doubts rather than allowing them to control your actions. A helpful way to do this is by reframing negative thoughts. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I can't do this," try adding the word "yet." I can't do this yet. This small shift in language reminds you that growth is a process. It leaves room for learning and improvement, reinforcing the idea that your abilities aren't fixed. They can grow with effort and time. A practical way to start overcoming self-limiting beliefs is to identify one specific belief that holds you back and challenge it with evidence. Let's say someone believes they're bad at learning languages. They might look for examples from the past, like successfully learning new words, phrases, or even technical terms in their native language. By gathering evidence that contradicts the limiting belief, they can start to see it as less absolute. This process takes time, but with patience, it becomes easier to replace old beliefs with new, empowering ones. At the end of the day, self-limiting beliefs are simply thoughts. They aren't facts, and they don't define who you are. The power lies in recognizing that you have the choice to believe in your potential instead. As you become more aware of these limiting beliefs, try replacing them with affirmations that support your growth. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," try, "I am capable, and I am willing to learn." Over time, these positive statements can become just as automatic as the negative ones once were, creating a mental foundation for growth and resilience. To wrap up this chapter, consider a belief you hold that has limited you in some way. Reflect on its origin and ask yourself, is this belief truly serving me? Then, try to challenge it by taking a small step outside your comfort zone, proving to yourself that you're more capable than you may have realized. Remember, growth happens one belief at a time. What belief will you choose to overcome today? Chapter 4. The Power of Positivity. Embracing an Optimistic Outlook. Have you ever noticed how your mood can shape the way you experience the world? Positivity isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a powerful mindset that can transform how you approach life's challenges and opportunities. This chapter is about embracing an optimistic outlook, which doesn't mean ignoring life's difficulties, but instead choosing to see the potential in each situation. By developing a habit of positive thinking, you can train yourself to focus on solutions, build resilience, and open yourself to new possibilities. Positivity begins with our perspective on daily events, whether big or small. When faced with a setback, like missing out on a job opportunity, it's easy to feel defeated and dwell on the disappointment. But by choosing to see the experience as a learning opportunity, perhaps a chance to improve your interview skills or explore other interests, you can turn what feels like a setback into a stepping stone for growth. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, you can develop the habit of looking for the silver lining in even the most challenging situations. A classic example of positivity in action can be seen in athletes who use positive self-talk to enhance their performance. Imagine a runner who encounters an injury while training. They could easily feel frustrated or discouraged, but many athletes choose to frame setbacks as temporary challenges. They remind themselves of their resilience and visualize themselves recovering and coming back stronger. This approach not only helps them cope with the immediate setback, but also keeps them motivated to keep pushing forward. By adopting a similar approach, you can apply positivity to your own life, viewing challenges as moments to grow rather than as obstacles to avoid. Positivity isn't about denying reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about taking control of your response to life's events. Suppose someone has a difficult day at work, where everything seems to go wrong. Rather than letting it affect their entire day, they can choose to look for something positive, perhaps appreciating a supportive coworker or finding a small success within a challenging project. This doesn't erase the day's challenges, but it helps them end on a more positive note. In this way, positivity becomes a choice, a mental tool that allows us to navigate life with a more balanced and hopeful outlook. Our words and thoughts have incredible power over our mood and motivation. Think of how differently you feel when you start the day with thoughts like, "I can handle whatever comes my way," versus, "I just hope I can get through today." Positive self-talk reinforces a supportive internal dialogue, making it easier to face challenges with confidence. One way to practice this is by using affirmations. For example, someone feeling nervous before a presentation might tell themselves, "I am prepared, and I have valuable insights to share." This simple shift in language helps redirect their energy from fear to empowerment, boosting their confidence and readiness to perform. Surrounding yourself with positivity can also play a significant role in building an optimistic outlook. Imagine two friends, one who tends to focus on the negatives, and another who approaches life with optimism. Spending time with the positive friend likely leaves you feeling more uplifted and motivated, while the opposite may be true for the other. By surrounding yourself with people who encourage a positive mindset, you reinforce your own optimism. This doesn't mean ignoring friends or family members who may be struggling, but rather choosing to engage with people and environments that support your growth and well-being. Of course, building positivity takes patience and practice. Life will still bring moments of frustration, doubt, or even sadness. However, each time you look for something positive, even if it's small, you strengthen your ability to remain optimistic in any situation. For instance, let's say someone is learning a new skill, like playing an instrument, and they find it challenging to get the notes right. Instead of focusing on every mistake, they can choose to celebrate small victories, like mastering a single song or noticing improvement in their technique. This positive reinforcement helps them stay motivated and enjoy the process, even when progress feels slow. Positivity also plays a crucial role in building resilience. When we face setbacks, an optimistic outlook reminds us that challenges are temporary and can lead to growth. Think about someone who has experienced a career setback, like being laid off. Instead of dwelling on the loss, they may choose to see it as an opportunity to explore a new path, learn new skills, or even start a passion project. By focusing on what they can gain from the situation, they approach the change with a spirit of resilience rather than defeat. As you reach the end of this chapter, take a moment to consider how positivity could play a role in your own life. Think about a recent challenge you faced and ask yourself, was there a positive lesson or opportunity in that experience? Try to reflect on it, even if the challenge felt difficult at the time. The more you practice finding positives, the more natural it becomes to approach life's ups and downs with optimism and resilience. Remember, positivity is not about ignoring life's challenges. It's about facing them with hope, strength, and the belief that every experience can bring growth. How will you choose to see the world today? Chapter 5. Resilience in Action. Thriving through Challenges. How do some people seem to bounce back stronger after facing challenges, while others struggle to regain their footing? The answer often lies in resilience, the ability to adapt and thrive in the face of adversity. Resilience doesn't mean avoiding hardships or pretending they don't hurt. Rather, it's about finding ways to move forward even when things get tough. In this chapter, we'll explore how resilience can become a powerful tool in your journey toward personal growth and success. By learning to cultivate resilience, you can equip yourself to handle life's setbacks with courage and determination. At its core, resilience is about finding ways to adapt when things don't go as planned. Think of resilience as a muscle that gets stronger each time you face a challenge. Imagine someone starting their own business, full of enthusiasm and confidence. They might encounter setbacks, like an unexpected dip in sales or negative feedback from a customer. These moments can feel disheartening, but resilient individuals learn to see setbacks as part of the journey. They reflect on what went wrong, identify what they can improve, and then move forward with new insights. Rather than being stopped by obstacles, resilience helps them keep progressing, viewing each challenge as a valuable learning experience. Resilience also involves the ability to stay focused on long-term goals, even when the path isn't smooth. Consider a student preparing for important exams who, despite putting in hours of study, faces the disappointment of a low test score. While it might be tempting to give up or feel defeated, a resilient response would be to use the experience as motivation to improve. They might seek help from a tutor, adjust their study methods, or review their areas of weakness. With this mindset, a setback becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Each effort they make in the face of adversity strengthens their commitment and builds their resilience, making them more prepared for future challenges. One of the hallmarks of resilience is the ability to reframe difficult situations. Instead of viewing a setback as a failure, resilient people see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Let's say someone was preparing for a job interview for weeks, feeling that the position was a perfect fit, only to find out they didn't get the job. While the initial reaction may be disappointment, a resilient perspective would involve asking, "What can I take from this experience?" They might recognize areas for improvement in their interview skills or consider exploring other opportunities that could be just as fulfilling. By shifting their focus from loss to learning, they turn a challenging experience into a constructive one. Resilience isn't something we're born with. It's a skill we develop over time. Life presents countless opportunities to build resilience, from small daily frustrations to significant life challenges. Imagine someone learning a new skill, like cooking. At first, they might make mistakes, burning dishes, using the wrong ingredients, or not achieving the desired flavor. While these setbacks might make some people give up, resilience allows them to keep trying. They learn from each mistake, adjust their techniques, and gradually improve. Each time they overcome a setback, they become more resilient, developing confidence in their ability to face future challenges. The support of others also plays a crucial role in building resilience. Having friends, family, or mentors who believe in us can provide encouragement when we're struggling. Think of a marathon runner who hits a wall halfway through the race, doubting their ability to continue. But the cheers and encouragement from friends and supporters can reignite their motivation, helping them push through and finish the race. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people can make a significant difference in your resilience, reminding you that you don't have to face challenges alone. Resilience can also be strengthened by practicing self-compassion. It's natural to feel frustrated or disappointed when things don't go as planned, but resilient individuals don't dwell on these feelings. Instead, they acknowledge their emotions without judgment, treating themselves with kindness and understanding. Consider a musician preparing for a big performance who makes a mistake during rehearsal. Rather than berating themselves, they take a deep breath, recognize that mistakes are part of the learning process, and continue practicing. By treating themselves with compassion, they create a mindset that supports resilience, allowing them to stay focused on improvement rather than getting stuck on their perceived shortcomings. Another essential aspect of resilience is the ability to focus on what you can control. When faced with adversity, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by factors beyond our control. However, resilient people learn to direct their energy toward the aspects they can influence. Imagine someone facing a delayed flight while traveling for an important event. They might initially feel frustrated, but instead of fixating on the delay, they focus on what they can do. Whether it's notifying the event organizers, finding ways to stay productive, or taking the time to relax and recharge. By focusing on what they can control, they reduce stress and make the best of the situation, strengthening their resilience. As you build resilience, remember that setbacks are a natural part of the journey. They're not signs of failure, but rather opportunities to test and strengthen your ability to adapt. The more you practice resilience, the more you'll find yourself able to navigate life's ups and downs with a sense of inner strength. Resilience doesn't eliminate challenges, but it empowers you to face them with confidence, knowing that each obstacle you overcome brings you closer to your goals. To put resilience into practice, take a moment to reflect on a recent challenge. Think about how you responded and consider whether there's a way to reframe that experience in a more resilient way. Ask yourself, what did I learn, and how can I apply this lesson in the future? Embrace each challenge as an opportunity to build resilience. And remember that every time you choose to keep moving forward, you're growing stronger. How will you choose to respond to life's challenges today? Chapter 6. Setting bold goals. Crafting your path forward. Have you ever thought about what you truly want to achieve in life? Setting bold goals is one of the most powerful ways to direct your energy and focus toward a future that excites you. Goals give us purpose and direction, helping us make decisions that align with our dreams and values. Bold goals, in particular, push us beyond our comfort zones, inspiring us to grow and expand our potential. This chapter is about setting goals that both challenge and motivate you, helping you craft a clear path forward. Bold goals aren't about playing it safe. They're about aiming for something that feels meaningful, even if it seems just out of reach. Imagine someone who has always dreamed of running a marathon, but has never been a runner. The goal might seem intimidating, but it also provides a clear focus and a sense of purpose. Every small step, whether it's training, improving diet, or increasing endurance, contributes to that larger goal. The journey itself becomes a transformative experience, strengthening their commitment, discipline, and self-belief. A bold goal encourages you to envision what's possible and motivates you to take concrete steps toward it. When setting goals, it's helpful to use the concept of SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Take, for example, a person who wants to advance their career. Rather than setting a vague goal like, I want to be successful, they could set a SMART goal. I want to become a project manager within the next 2 years by gaining relevant certifications and volunteering for leadership roles at work. This goal is clear and provides a roadmap, making it easier to take actionable steps. Setting bold goals doesn't mean abandoning practicality. It means defining an ambitious vision in a way that's realistic and achievable. Another important element of bold goal setting is believing in your ability to grow. Too often, we set goals that match who we are now, rather than who we could become. Imagine a teacher who wants to write a book but feels they don't have enough experience. Instead of focusing on what they lack, they could focus on what they can learn. By breaking the goal into smaller milestones, researching topics, practicing writing, and seeking feedback, they start to build the skills and confidence needed to achieve their goal. Bold goals require a mindset of growth, a belief that you are capable of developing new abilities and expanding your horizons. Accountability is also crucial in achieving bold goals. When we share our goals with others, we create a network of support and encouragement. For instance, think of someone who wants to save for a down payment on a house. By sharing this goal with close friends or family, they create a sense of accountability. Their loved ones might check in on their progress, offer tips, or even suggest ways to save. Knowing that others are rooting for them adds motivation, helping them stay committed to their plan. Sharing your goals can add a layer of accountability that keeps you moving forward, especially during challenging times. Another essential aspect of goal setting is breaking down bold goals into smaller, manageable steps. If a goal feels overwhelming, breaking it down into achievable parts can make it feel less intimidating. For example, someone who dreams of starting a business might begin by researching their industry, creating a business plan, and saving money. Each step represents a smaller, attainable milestone that brings them closer to their larger goal. By focusing on one step at a time, they keep up their momentum and stay motivated, even when the overall goal seems distant. When pursuing bold goals, it's also valuable to celebrate small victories along the way. Recognizing progress keeps you motivated, reminding you that every effort counts. Imagine an artist working toward the goal of holding their first solo exhibition. Each completed artwork, positive review, or small sale brings them one step closer to their dream. Celebrating these milestones gives them the encouragement to continue creating, building confidence with each accomplishment. By acknowledging the progress you make along the way, you reinforce your commitment to the goal and make the journey more enjoyable. Challenges are a natural part of any ambitious goal, and they're also opportunities to learn and grow. When we set bold goals, we're likely to encounter obstacles that test our resilience and adaptability. Take, for instance, a person studying for an advanced degree while working full-time. They might face time constraints, fatigue, or moments of self-doubt. But by viewing these challenges as part of the process, they strengthen their ability to persevere. They might adjust their schedule, seek support from peers, or explore new study techniques. Each challenge overcome adds to their confidence and brings them closer to their goal. One final aspect of setting bold goals is revisiting and adjusting them as needed. Life is dynamic, and our goals should be flexible enough to evolve with us. Imagine someone whose goal was to travel and explore a new country, but due to unforeseen circumstances, they need to delay their plans. Instead of giving up, they could adjust the timeline, setting smaller travel-related goals for the time being, like saving money, learning the language, or researching local cultures. Adjusting goals doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're resilient enough to adapt while staying true to your vision. As you finish this chapter, consider a bold goal that inspires you, something that feels both exciting and challenging. Take a moment to define it clearly, considering the steps and resources you'll need to make it happen. Visualize yourself achieving this goal and think about how it would impact your life. Bold goals may seem daunting, but they're also deeply rewarding, pushing you to grow in ways you never thought possible. Ask yourself, what bold goal will I commit to, and what small step can I take today to begin my journey? Embrace the courage to aim high and start building the path toward a future that excites you. Chapter 7. Unlocking Creativity, Seeing Solutions, Not Problems. Have you ever found yourself stuck on a problem, wishing you could see things from a different perspective? Creativity is often associated with art or innovation, but it's actually a powerful mindset that helps us find solutions in everyday life. Unlocking creativity means training yourself to see beyond obstacles, opening your mind to new possibilities, and allowing yourself to approach challenges with fresh ideas. This chapter is about developing a creative mindset, one that encourages you to see solutions instead of getting lost in problems. Creativity is not reserved for a select few. It's a skill everyone can develop. Imagine someone working on a tight budget, needing to furnish a new apartment. Rather than feeling limited by what they can't afford, they choose to look for second-hand items, get creative with DIY projects, or repurpose old furniture. This shift in perspective allows them to see what they can achieve with the resources they have, transforming limitations into opportunities. Creativity is about finding new angles and unexpected solutions, not about having endless options. With the right mindset, even constraints can inspire innovation. In many cases, creativity comes from reframing the way we see a problem. For example, consider a team leader facing a challenge with low team morale. Instead of seeing it as a sign of failure or giving in to frustration, they might approach it from a different angle by asking, what small changes could improve our team's motivation? They might arrange weekly brainstorming sessions, set up a recognition system to celebrate achievements, or create a more open environment for feedback. By seeing the situation as an opportunity to innovate rather than as a problem to fix, they invite creativity into the process, often leading to solutions that make a lasting impact. Unlocking creativity also involves being open to new experiences and perspectives. When we expose ourselves to different ideas, cultures, and viewpoints, our minds expand, and we become more adept at connecting seemingly unrelated concepts. Let's take someone who wants to start a business but feels they lack original ideas. Instead of waiting for a eureka moment, they explore diverse areas, taking up new hobbies, talking to people in different industries, or reading about various fields. This process sparks their imagination, helping them generate fresh ideas they might never have considered otherwise. Creativity thrives in environments where curiosity and exploration are encouraged. A creative mindset is also about flexibility, the willingness to adapt and adjust when faced with unexpected challenges. Imagine a chef preparing for a dinner event who realizes they're missing a key ingredient. Instead of panicking, they draw on their creativity, experimenting with available ingredients to craft a new flavor. This flexibility allows them to turn a potential setback into an opportunity to innovate. In our own lives, we can practice this adaptability by staying open to changing plans, shifting approaches, and viewing unexpected situations as chances to try something new. Another essential part of developing creativity is overcoming the fear of making mistakes. Many people hold back their creative potential because they worry about failure or judgment. Think of a student working on a project who hesitates to share their unique ideas, fearing they won't be well received. But when they muster the courage to present their ideas, they may find that their originality is exactly what the project needed. Creativity often involves experimenting, trying new approaches, and sometimes getting things wrong before finding the right solution. Each mistake becomes part of the learning process, adding to our creative toolbox. Collaboration can also play a significant role in unlocking creativity. Working with others allows us to combine different strengths, perspectives, and ideas, leading to solutions we might not have reached on our own. Consider a group tasked with designing a community garden. Each member brings different ideas. One suggests growing vegetables, another proposes a space for local artists, and yet another envisions a playground for children. By blending these ideas, they create a garden that serves multiple purposes and benefits a wider community. Collaboration encourages creativity, reminding us that we don't have to solve every problem alone. Sometimes, the best solutions emerge from shared efforts. A practical way to boost creativity is by taking breaks and allowing yourself time to step away from a problem. Often, solutions come when we least expect them, during a walk, a quiet moment, or while doing something unrelated to the problem. Imagine an entrepreneur who's been brainstorming ways to grow their business without finding a satisfying answer. After taking a day off to relax, they return with a fresh perspective and a breakthrough idea that seemed impossible before. Creativity requires space to flourish, so giving yourself moments to pause and recharge can make all the difference. As you cultivate a creative mindset, remember that creativity isn't about perfection, it's about exploration and possibility. Don't be afraid to take risks, test new ideas, or view obstacles as starting points for something innovative. Creativity opens up endless paths, helping you find unexpected solutions and approach life's challenges with a spirit of curiosity. Each time you think creatively, you're training yourself to see the world not as a series of problems, but as a landscape of opportunities. To put this chapter into practice, think of a challenge you're currently facing and ask yourself, is there another way to approach this? Try looking at it from a different perspective, seeking input from others, or allowing yourself some time to step back and think creatively. Remember, creativity is not about having all the answers right away. It's about seeing the potential for new solutions. How can you approach your challenge with an open mind, ready to discover new possibilities? Embrace the power of creativity and let it guide you to innovative, meaningful solutions. Chapter 8: Self-Discipline Mastery: Turning Intentions into Actions. Have you ever set a goal with excitement only to find it slipping away as time passes? Many of us experience this struggle, where our intentions are clear, but staying on track feels challenging. The key to turning intentions into actions lies in self-discipline, the ability to make consistent choices that support your goals, even when motivation fades. Self-discipline isn't about harsh restrictions or denying yourself enjoyment. It's about creating a foundation of habits and choices that keep you aligned with what matters to you. In this chapter, we'll explore how mastering self-discipline can transform your ability to achieve meaningful goals. Self-discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Think of an aspiring writer who sets the goal of finishing a novel. If they only write when they feel inspired, they may struggle to make progress. However, by creating a routine, writing for an hour each morning, they build discipline, gradually making writing a daily habit rather than an occasional effort. Self-discipline becomes their tool for steady progress, helping them stay on track, even on days when motivation is low. This approach applies to any goal, from fitness to learning a new skill. Consistency, fueled by self-discipline, is what moves you closer to your aspirations. One effective way to build self-discipline is to break down larger goals into smaller, achievable steps. For instance, someone wanting to save money for a trip might feel overwhelmed by the total amount. Instead, they could set a weekly saving target, like setting aside a specific amount each week. This manageable step not only makes the goal feel more achievable, but also creates a habit of saving. Over time, these small steps accumulate, and they find themselves closer to reaching their goal without feeling the pressure of one large task. Breaking goals into smaller tasks makes it easier to stay disciplined, as each step feels achievable and motivates you to keep going. Self-discipline also requires a level of self-awareness, especially in recognizing and managing distractions. Picture a student aiming to improve their grades. They may set aside time to study, but find themselves distracted by social media or their phone. To stay disciplined, they decide to create a distraction-free study environment, perhaps by turning off notifications or setting specific study times. By acknowledging and addressing distractions, they create an environment that supports their goals. Self-discipline involves taking active steps to protect your time and attention, ensuring that your actions align with your priorities. Another vital aspect of self-discipline is learning to say no when needed. Many people find it challenging to decline requests or avoid situations that don't align with their goals. Imagine a person training for a marathon who regularly receives invitations to late-night gatherings. While they might enjoy spending time with friends, they recognize that prioritizing rest is essential for their training. By politely declining some invitations, they stay committed to their goal, understanding that their no supports their greater purpose. Saying no isn't about avoiding fun. It's about making choices that keep you aligned with what you truly want to achieve. Self-discipline also thrives on routines, which create a structure that supports consistent action. For example, consider someone who wants to develop a healthier lifestyle. Instead of trying to change everything at once, they focus on creating a morning routine that includes drinking water, stretching, and preparing a healthy breakfast. This routine becomes a daily anchor, reinforcing their commitment to health. Over time, the routine becomes a habit, making it easier to make healthy choices throughout the day. By establishing routines that align with your goals, you set yourself up for success without relying solely on willpower. It's essential to understand that self-discipline isn't about perfection, it's about progress. There will be days when sticking to your goals feels more difficult, and that's okay. What matters is how you respond to those moments. Imagine a person who has committed to regular exercise but occasionally misses a workout. Instead of feeling discouraged, they recognize that setbacks are part of the journey and recommit to their goal. Self-discipline involves resilience, the ability to get back on track after a slip-up, knowing that every day is a new opportunity to make choices that align with your intentions. Rewards can also play a helpful role in reinforcing self-discipline. When you acknowledge your progress, you create a positive association with disciplined actions. Think of someone working toward a professional certification who decides to treat themselves after each completed module. This reward reinforces their commitment, making the process more enjoyable and motivating them to keep going. Celebrating small victories along the way helps to sustain self-discipline by making the journey rewarding and reminding you of your progress. One final key to mastering self-discipline is to stay connected to your why, the reason behind your goals. When the journey feels challenging, reconnecting with your purpose can reignite your commitment. For example, someone working toward a health goal might remind themselves of the benefits like increased energy and well-being, and how these outcomes align with their desire to live a fulfilling life. Knowing why you set a goal gives you the motivation to keep going, even when the process feels difficult. Self-discipline becomes easier to maintain when it's connected to a purpose that genuinely matters to you. As you end this chapter, think about a goal that's meaningful to you and consider how self-discipline could help you reach it. Identify one small step you can take today to move closer to that goal and commit to following through. Remember, self-discipline is not about restricting yourself. It's about creating a path that aligns with your intentions and values. What goal will you commit to with self-discipline, and how will you take that first step today? Embrace the power of consistent, intentional action and let it guide you toward the success you envision. Chapter 9. Mindfulness and Focus. Staying present in your growth. Do you ever find yourself going through the motions, only to realize that your mind has drifted somewhere else? In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to feel like we're constantly pulled in different directions. Mindfulness and focus are powerful tools that allow us to anchor our attention, helping us stay present and engaged with what matters most. This chapter is about cultivating mindfulness and focus, so you can direct your energy toward personal growth and experience each moment more fully. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully aware of where you are and what you're doing, without letting your mind wander to the past or future. Imagine someone who decides to practice mindfulness during their morning routine. Instead of rushing through breakfast while scrolling on their phone, they focus on the taste, texture, and warmth of their food. They notice the sounds around them, from the hum of the kettle to the chirping of birds outside. By simply paying attention, they turn an ordinary activity into a moment of awareness, experiencing it with greater clarity and calm. This small act of mindfulness sets a positive tone for the day, reminding them to stay present. One of the most significant benefits of mindfulness is its ability to reduce stress. Often, stress comes from worrying about things we can't control or overthinking past events. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to focus on the present moment, releasing the tension that comes from trying to manage everything at once. Consider a student feeling overwhelmed by a looming deadline. Instead of letting stress build, they take a few moments to breathe deeply, calming their mind and focusing solely on the task at hand. This mindful approach helps them stay calm and engaged, making it easier to work efficiently. Mindfulness teaches us that we can't control every outcome, but we can control how we respond to the moment we're in. Focus, on the other hand, is the skill of directing our attention toward a specific task or goal. In a world of constant notifications, staying focused can be challenging. Yet focus is essential for achieving meaningful progress. Think of someone working on a creative project, like painting. If they allow themselves to be interrupted every few minutes, they lose their flow, finding it harder to produce their best work. However, by setting aside dedicated time, turning off distractions, and immersing themselves in the process, they experience a deep state of concentration that fuels their creativity. Focus allows them to connect with their project fully, making their efforts feel more rewarding and productive. Mindfulness and focus work hand in hand. While mindfulness helps us remain aware of our surroundings and our internal state, focus allows us to channel that awareness toward a specific purpose. Imagine someone preparing for an important presentation. Practicing mindfulness helps them stay calm and centered, while focus allows them to direct that calm energy toward their preparations. They review their notes, visualize their delivery, and immerse themselves in the material, bringing their best self to the task. This combination of mindfulness and focus enhances their confidence, allowing them to feel prepared and grounded. Mindfulness and focus can also transform how we experience our relationships. When we are fully present in conversations, we listen more deeply and connect on a genuine level. Imagine a friend who practices mindfulness during a conversation. Instead of thinking about what they'll say next, they give their full attention, listening to both the words and emotions behind them. This mindful listening fosters trust and understanding, creating stronger and more meaningful connections. In relationships, mindfulness reminds us that presence is a gift we give to others, showing them that we value their time and words. One of the best ways to develop mindfulness and focus is through small, consistent practices. For instance, someone might start with 5 minutes of mindful breathing each morning, focusing on their breath and observing their thoughts without judgment. Over time, this practice builds their ability to stay present in other areas of life, from work to personal interactions. Practicing mindfulness can be as simple as pausing for a moment to take a few deep breaths, or noticing the sensations around you. By incorporating these moments of awareness into daily life, mindfulness becomes a natural part of their routine, strengthening their ability to stay present. Another effective practice is setting boundaries for focused work. Many people find it helpful to set a timer for a specific task, dedicating that time solely to the work at hand. Imagine a writer who sets a 30-minute timer to draft an article. During this time, they turn off distractions, focusing entirely on the writing process. When the timer goes off, they take a break, allowing their mind to recharge before starting again. This approach, often known as the Pomodoro technique, trains the mind to stay focused and resist distractions, building a habit of deep concentration over time. It's also helpful to remember that mindfulness and focus are not about forcing your mind to be silent or perfect. There will be times when your thoughts wander, and that's okay. The key is to notice when your attention drifts and gently guide it back to the present moment. Think of it like training a muscle. Each time you bring your focus back, you're strengthening your ability to stay engaged. Imagine someone practicing mindfulness who realizes their mind has wandered to a future worry. Instead of getting frustrated, they calmly bring their attention back to the current activity, reinforcing their commitment to being present. As you cultivate mindfulness and focus, you'll likely notice an increased sense of fulfillment and control in your life. These practices allow you to make conscious choices rather than reacting automatically, giving you greater control over your actions and responses. This awareness can lead to more intentional living, helping you align your daily habits with your goals and values. To put these ideas into practice, think about an area of your life where you'd like to be more mindful or focused. Choose a simple action to begin with, like setting aside time for focused work or practicing mindful breathing each morning. Reflect on how this small practice influences your sense of calm and engagement. Remember, mindfulness and focus are not about achieving perfection, but about building a foundation that supports your growth and well-being. How will you choose to be present today, and where will you direct your focus to bring you closer to your goals? Embrace these practices and let them guide you toward a more intentional and fulfilling path forward. Chapter 10: Sustaining Success, Creating a Lifelong Growth Mindset. As you reach the end of this journey, you may be wondering how to ensure that the growth you've experienced so far continues long after you finish this chapter. Sustaining success is about developing a mindset that embraces learning and adapts to challenges over time. A growth mindset, rooted in the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed, helps us view life as a continuous journey of learning. This chapter explores how to cultivate a lifelong growth mindset so that every experience, challenge, or setback becomes an opportunity for growth and progress. A growth mindset allows us to view challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. Imagine someone who has recently taken on a new role at work, feeling both excitement and nerves about the responsibilities ahead. Instead of fearing mistakes, they see each task as a learning experience, knowing that any misstep is an opportunity to refine their skills. This mindset helps them approach new tasks with curiosity and resilience, staying open to feedback and improvement. By embracing a growth mindset, they transform initial uncertainties into a path of personal and professional growth. One essential element of a lifelong growth mindset is curiosity, the drive to keep exploring, asking questions, and seeking new experiences. Take, for example, an individual who's interested in learning a new language but feels daunted by the effort it will require. Instead of focusing on the challenges, they embrace curiosity, exploring the culture, the music, and the daily expressions of native speakers. This curiosity keeps them motivated, turning the learning process into an exciting journey rather than a daunting task. By remaining curious, we stay engaged with our goals, finding joy in the process itself. Another key aspect of sustaining growth is resilience in the face of setbacks. Mistakes and failures are natural parts of any journey, but with a growth mindset, we can see them as moments to learn and adjust. Imagine an entrepreneur launching a small business who faces early challenges, from securing clients to managing finances. While setbacks may feel discouraging, their growth mindset allows them to approach each problem as a stepping stone. They analyze what went wrong, make adjustments, and keep moving forward. This resilience allows them to sustain their progress, knowing that every setback brings valuable lessons. A growth mindset also involves embracing feedback as a tool for improvement. Feedback, whether from others or through self-reflection, is essential for long-term growth. Consider an artist refining their craft, seeking feedback from mentors and peers. Instead of feeling defensive, they appreciate feedback as insight into areas they can improve. By approaching feedback with an open mind, they gain a clearer perspective on their strengths and areas for growth, guiding their progress over time. Embracing feedback is about recognizing that there is always room to learn, no matter how much we achieve. Another important element of a growth mindset is setting new challenges as you progress. Growth is not a destination, it's a continuous journey that evolves with us. Let's say someone who has mastered their fitness routine decides to train for a triathlon. By challenging themselves in a new way, they not only expand their physical endurance, but also build mental resilience. Each new goal offers fresh motivation, keeping the journey exciting and purposeful. Setting new challenges reminds us that there is always room to grow, motivating us to keep pushing beyond our current limits. Self-reflection is a powerful practice for maintaining a growth mindset, allowing us to track our progress and identify areas for continued growth. Take the example of someone learning to play a musical instrument. As they practice, they take time to reflect on their progress, identifying which areas need more focus and celebrating their improvement. By setting aside moments to assess their journey, they gain insight into what's working and what could be adjusted. Regular self-reflection keeps us grounded, helping us stay connected to our goals and reinforcing the mindset that growth is an ongoing process. Building a supportive environment also plays a vital role in sustaining a growth mindset. Surrounding ourselves with people who encourage learning and challenge us to grow creates a network of inspiration and motivation. Imagine a group of writers who meet regularly to share their work, provide feedback, and exchange ideas. Each writer brings unique insights, sparking creativity and pushing each other to improve. This environment fosters growth, reminding each individual that they are part of a larger journey with shared encouragement and support. A supportive environment reminds us that we don't have to grow alone. We can build resilience and creativity together. It's also essential to celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Recognizing and celebrating progress fuels motivation, reinforcing the belief that effort leads to growth. Think of someone who has been practicing mindfulness and, over time, notices they feel calmer and more focused in stressful situations. Acknowledging this progress encourages them to continue, reinforcing their commitment to personal development. Celebrating milestones reminds us that growth is cumulative, built one small achievement at a time. Each step forward is a testament to our commitment and resilience. As you continue on your journey of lifelong growth, remember that a growth mindset is not about perfection. There will be ups and downs, times of rapid progress, and times when you feel stuck. The key is to stay committed to learning and adapting. Even when the road feels uncertain, every experience becomes an opportunity to learn, and each challenge becomes a chance to prove to yourself that growth is possible. A growth mindset doesn't promise a flawless journey, but it ensures a meaningful one filled with purpose and progress. To carry this forward, think about one area in your life where you'd like to continue growing. Reflect on how you can approach this area with a growth mindset, whether by seeking feedback, setting new challenges, or practicing curiosity. Embrace the journey of lifelong growth, knowing that every step you take moves you closer to becoming the person you aspire to be. Ask yourself, what does a growth mindset look like in my life, and how can I nurture it each day? With this mindset, you're equipped to face whatever comes your way, confident in your ability to keep growing, learning, and thriving. Congratulations on completing this journey toward a stronger, growth-focused mindset. Throughout this book, we've explored powerful concepts like self-awareness, positive habit building, resilience, creative problem-solving, and self-discipline. Together, these practices form a toolkit for unlocking your potential and maintaining personal growth over time. By embracing a growth mindset, you're equipped to face life's challenges with optimism, confidence, and resilience, continuously striving toward your goals. Thank you for taking the time to join this journey of self-improvement. Remember, growth is a lifelong path, and each step forward brings you closer to becoming your best self. If you found this content helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to stay connected and receive more insights on personal development. Your engagement means a lot, and we look forward to sharing more empowering content with you.